Imagine logging off for the weekend, right? And while you're sleeping, a software engineer is independently reviewing all your team's code.
Yeah, just doing all the heavy lifting in the background.
Exactly. Checking it for security flaws, rewriting the documentation, and, pushing it live before you've even had your Monday morning coffee.
It sounds like sci-fi, but it's happening.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today's mission is exploring the sources you sent us on this massive paradigm shift called loop engineering. We are looking at how the role of the software developer is rapidly shifting away from manual coding and toward designing the high-level AI loops that do the actual building.
Right, it's a fundamental change to the industry.
Okay, let's unpack this. If you look at the recent evolution of software development, we moved from simple autocomplete tools to AI terminal agents.
Which, just to clarify for everyone, an AI terminal agent is an AI that lives directly in your command line, right? It executes code and runs scripts like a human developer would.
Yeah, exactly. But prompting a solitary agent is, it's no longer the cutting edge. We are now entering the era of loops.
That's right, because companies are quickly realizing that standard terminal agents aren't really the end game.
No, not at all.
I mean, when you just prompt an AI to write a script, you still have to review it. You have to spot the errors and tell it to fix them. You're still actively in the weeds.
It's like micromanaging an overeager intern.
Yes, exactly that.
You give them a small task, they bring it back full of mistakes, you redline it, and, well, send them back out. You aren't really saving much time.
Right, you're just shifting the type of work you're doing.
Yeah. Designing a loop, on the other hand, is like hiring a senior manager who also happens to oversee a ruthless QA department. You set a massive high-level goal, like build an e-commerce checkout flow.
And then this outer loop orchestrates the entire back and forth between different AI agents until the product perfectly matches your blueprint. What's fascinating here is how that fundamentally changes the mechanism of the work. Loop engineering replaces that human babysitter with an outer programmatic loop.
Wow. Okay.
And the crucial component of that outer loop is the verifier. It continually evaluates the output from the coding agents against that high-level goal you set.
So it just keeps checking the work.
Yeah, it literally will not stop running and iterating until the exact parameters of that goal are verified as met.
So we aren't holding their hands anymore.
Not at all.
Which makes me wonder how this actually functions in the wild. The sources point to a great real-world example with Anthropic managing the Claude SDK, their software development kit.
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect example. Because historically, keeping technical documentation updated when a team merges new code is it's a tedious manual chore that engineers dread.
Oh, absolutely. But now...
Now, they've automated it entirely through orchestration. They built a weekly agent loop that just wakes up, independently reviews all the code changes merged into the SDK that week, figures out what changed, writes the new documentation, and publishes it.
Zero human intervention.
Zero. And they are applying the exact same loop concept to run continuous security checks on every single code merge.
Okay, well, here's where it gets really interesting. I have to push back on that security use case a bit.
Okay, sure.
Because we all know large language models hallucinate, right? They make coding mistakes. How can we possibly trust an AI loop to effectively audit its own security work without just, hallucinating a clean bill of health?
That is the exact anxiety a lot of engineers have right now.
Right. It seems super risky.
It does, but we have to look at how these models evaluate data. Large language models are highly susceptible to self-bias. Like if a model writes the code, it will blindly validate its own logic.
Grading its own homework.
Exactly. But they are incredibly good at independent verification. The mechanism here relies on strict separation. The loop orchestrates a completely separate, specialized evaluating agent to run the security checks.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because this evaluating agent has a fresh context window and no bias toward the original code. The data shows it can reliably catch the bugs the initial coding agent just wrote.
Wow, it's a brilliant way to bypass the model's limitations.
It really is.
But let's talk about the human stakes here. If you're listening to this and realizing loops are writing the code, updating the docs, and running the security audits, well, it's natural to ask, what exactly is my job?
Yeah, it's a very valid concern.
I mean, are we all just obsolete?
Not obsolete, but if you want to remain competitive, your job is to orchestrate. Tech companies are already filtering for this. The new interview question isn't just to whiteboard a sorting algorithm anymore.
Right.
They're asking, what systems have you built on top of terminal agents? You have to prove you understand how to design these outer architectures to manage the AI that writes the code.
So, what does this all mean? It means the definition of an efficient builder is someone who continually replaces their own daily tasks with a new layer of abstraction.
Precisely. To stay relevant, you must move up the stack. You have to shift your cognitive effort away from the syntax of manual coding and focus entirely on orchestration.
Like designing the systems.
Yes, designing the systems, setting the goals, and building robust verifiers.
We are basically building the machines that build the machines at this point. You aren't the assembly line worker anymore, you're the factory architect.
That's exactly it. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the entire goal of every abstraction layer in computer science has been to replace the layer before it.
Right.
This raises an important question. What happens when a loop is successfully designed to engineer the next level of loops, entirely removing you as the orchestrator?